Hi, my name is Lee. This is my first video. I hope to have this channel grow. I'm recently retired. I retired a few years ago. I still work part-time, so I had time to start this channel, so I thought I would do that. I used the BookTube newbie tag for my first video here to start. So I'm going to answer, it's a series of questions that BookTube recommends that we answer. So I'm going to do that. So we're going to start with question one. Why did you start this channel? I started this channel because I love reading. That's the long and the short of it. It's my hobby. It's my passion. I spend entirely too much money on books, both physical and Kindle. Yeah, it's what I love. It's my hobby. Okay, number two. What are you most excited for? I think I'm really excited about getting to know other people, other booktubers. I'm excited to share my passion for books. I love talking about books. I love recommending books. So yeah, that's what I'm excited for. Number three, why do you love reading? I guess I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert, and I I've always been told, and I believe this too. I am a deep thinker. I always have been, and I love reading since a young age. I love to learn. It's what I'm passionate about. Okay, number four. What book or series got you into reading? Hmm, that's a tough one. I'd have to say, when I was in school, we used to order Scholastic books, and it was always a big deal in elementary school. And we'd have the order form, and we'd fill it out and pick our books, and then we'd have to wait a week or two or so, a month. I can't remember exactly how long, but for those books to come in, and it was always an exciting time for me waiting for my books to come. And I think the first chapter book that I read, and I can't remember the author, but it was a book about Odysseus, and I just loved it. His story, told in that way, it really captured my imagination. And to this day, I still love stories like that, books like that. I love all books, but that book, I think, was the first chapter book that I read, and I really enjoyed it. And it kind of started me on my journey. Number five, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I think I would just want to maybe have discussions with them about what books they enjoy, compared to what books I enjoy, and just having a deep discussion about that. I love that. I love getting recommendations from other people. I love finding new authors that way. I find that I do find a lot of authors that way from other people's recommendations. I really think that's what I would like to uh, talk with them about. I'm pretty good. Well, I wouldn't say I'm good, but I think I understand the technical aspects of filming on YouTube. I know there are videos out there that other YouTubers have provided that explain all that, and I've watched some of those. So but I mean, I may have questions about that too as we go along here. So, but I think mostly I would like to discuss other books with YouTubers. Number six, what challenges might be hardest to overcome? I think the hardest challenge would be creating time to do this. I know I'm retired. I said I'm retired. I still do work part time though, but I'm sure you heard that old saying that you're busier after you retire than you were when you were working, and I can attest that that's true to an extent. I have a teenage son. I have a grown daughter. Is recently married and is buying a house. I have a girlfriend. I have a part-time job. I spend a lot of time reading, and I love to travel, and I like to enjoy my retirement. So, but this is something that I'm very passionate about. So I'm going to create the time to do this. Number seven, when did you start reading? I started young. I was probably 3 or 4. I remember when I was a child, reading books on dinosaurs, and I love those. I love the illustrations. I would read, you know, try to read as best I could at that age about the dinosaurs in those books. Some of them were meant for kids, but I did have some adult books about dinosaurs too when I was young. And I read the Golden books and Disney books and things like that when I was a kid. That's probably what started me, and it sparked an early passion for reading. Number 8, where do you read? Mostly at home. I mean, I like to go to the library. I like to go to bookstores and have a coffee and read. I like to sit outside on my deck and read on a nice day. When I take my son to an activity or whatever, if I'm there for just an hour, sometimes I'll just wait for him and I'll read my book there. Pretty much anywhere, but mostly at home. Mostly at home. So looking ahead, I think my next video, I'll give you a tour of my bookshelves. I have a decent collection. I have probably 1,000 physical books and another 1,000 or so Kindle books. It's hard to pass up those $1.99 deals on Amazon sometimes, especially if it's a book that I really like. So my Kindle collection grew very quickly. But I'll probably take you on a tour of my library. But I would love to hear from you. If you want to answer these questions too, put it in the comments. If you have some ideas for shows for me based on maybe the books you see here, because I like all genres. Historical fiction, I love history, I love science fiction, I like literary fiction, I like short stories, I like mysteries, I like military history, I like horror. I like just about all genres. A good biography or a good memoir, I really enjoy. But if you have some suggestions for me, please put it in the comments. I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you soon.